Minnes både ditt og datt og har det veldig koselig. Holetitten, holetatten, hei sann for et kjør.
Oggi andiamo a fare pasta.
Local pasta by hand. We just need 3 ingredients.
Ja, det sounds listan.
That's salt, some local flour, and some eggs. Specifically, I'm using 3 eggs and 1 yolk. I'm combining that with 250 grams of flour. So that would be the ratio.
And the best thing about this pasta is that everyone can make it. It's pretty straightforward.
So to make this pasta local, it's important or essential that you use a local flour, or at least a national flour of where you're residing. And same with eggs, buy eggs from your farmers, if available for you. They taste better and they're not old like the store-bought ones. So how I go about making my pasta by hand then is that you just have a general clean surface which you can bake on. And I just dumped all my flour into a pile and made like a center, like a volcano. And just some salt. And I just cracked all my eggs into there. You can do all your eggs. Here I tested with 2 eggs and 1 yolk to begin with, and see if I wanted to add 1 more egg and 1 more yolk alongside it, which I ended up doing. Experimenting with it and adding then more eggs or a bit of water or more flour. You just balance it out with either more flour if it's too wet, or more water or egg yolks if it's too dry. You can see here I add another yolk, so we're up to 2 whole eggs and 2 yolks in this session, and there goes another egg. So there's no rigid rules. I'll be flexible and balanced with it, but the general guideline is then 3 whole eggs and 1 yolk, and 250 grams of flour and some salt. So as you can see here, it's all about just combining or getting together your dough, and it's going to be a bit of a mess in the beginning because it's just eggs, flour and some salt. But then it's going to come together more and more. And the more you know it, the more you use your hands on it, the better it's going to be basically. It's going to start linking up and everything is going to start going smooth, and
It takes more time to make it like this, but you then end up with decentralized local pasta from local ingredients, which taste amazingly much better. And of course, it's not the store-bought dried one from Italy or wherever you're buying it from. So I would compare it to like you eating stale bread versus you eating like a complete fresh baked sourdough bread from your bakery. It's no comparison, it's different things. Like, it's literally different dishes. Store-bought pasta dried and you making your own pasta with local ingredients. It's crazy. So while the pasta rests, I will take some normal garden squash from our garden and turn them into arguably one of the best vegetables out there, especially in a pasta dish. They literally become like candy when you do this, and all you really need is just an oven and something to cut them up, and a bit of olive oil and some salt and pepper. They might not look the prettiest as you put them out, but trust me, the taste is crazy. I will make a separate video about this where I combine this and make a really wholesome and holistic pasta dish, which is like banging with umami and everything you want in a pasta dish. So back to the pasta, after I get it stuck out of my hands. So lightly flour your surface and flour it a lot. You'll likely need it so it doesn't get stuck. It's a bit of a sticky dough type. And constantly just make sure you have flour over your work surface so it doesn't stick and you make holes, because we're going to roll this out really thinly. So I cut it in half so it's easier to work with, and it's 2 portions practically. So what you want to do is you roll it out 3 times and you see me folding it and then continue rolling it out. So you want to do that 3 times. That's me doing it once, make it a bit longer, doing it twice and repeating that. And then simply doing that 1 more time. There we go. And now we're just gonna roll it out all the way and make it really thin and long. We're gonna end up with a sort of tagliatelle. Doing it this method. So here's the most sensitive part. You always need to have flour on your surface now. If you get it stuck and make holes, you're gonna have to restart part of the process. So you just roll it out slowly but surely and make sure you have flour. And if the dough doesn't really wanna continue rolling it out, because you're gonna have it really thin, I'm gonna show how thin in a minute, then just let it sit for a bit and let it relax and then continue in a bit of time. So the goal here with the dough is to roll it all the way out so you can almost see your color of skin through it when you look at it and have your fingers on the dough. And now we go to the folding. Take one part like that, other like this, and it's almost like a croissant. Fold. You just see me correcting it a bit here. To make sure everything is all good. Fold it over like that. Corrections. And over like that. And that's the folding done. And now we just simply move over to cutting up the pasta. This is a really forgiving type of pasta, so you don't have to cut it really thinly when you fold it like this. So you just have to cut it out normally how long or horizontally how thick you want your pasta. It's not thickness, but it's like length almost. And once you find that groove like I did here, then that's about it. So to the final part of the pasta creating. Now it's all about just folding them out. So I'm just using gravity to help me out. You see some of them falling apart, that's just me being a beginner. I'm nowhere near like a pro baker in regards. I just love making food for the people I care about.
Wow, så
So-
fin den blev.
For family, etc. So all you want to do is just really find the difference between the two pieces of pasta which we have folded over each other, and simply just use a little bit of force to get them out of each other, and just let gravity do its thing and let them fall out of your hands almost basically. So it basically does itself, you just untangle them from each other. What I'm saying is that you basically just guide the pasta, flow with it, and let gravity do its thing, and then you end up with wonderful, beautiful, long tagliatelle strips like this. Important note, always remember to heavily flour the pasta which you're doing, or folding, so it doesn't get stuck together when you go to cook them. I've done that mistake a couple of times. And as I waited for the water to boil, I found this wonderful piece of parmesan in our fridge. For me, the cheeses are always best just before they get banned. So I'm just here testing if it's good or not, smelling it, etc., and just cutting away the mold, which I saw on it. And it turned out a wonderful dish in the end. And this is part of the squash dish, which I'll show next time. And there you go, putting the pasta in. This is why you flour your pasta so they don't stuck together when you gotta put them in. And recall that always fresh pasta cooks a lot faster than dried pasta. So give this like 2 to 3 minutes in this. Make sure they're not stuck, and you end up with perfect pasta.
Probablemente.
Thank you for following along, and I hope you try and make it soon.